Bourbon chicken is something you usually find on the menu at big chain restaurants or at the food court in the mall. And the idea of bourbon and chicken together is fabulous, but most versions are pretty terrible, with overcooked chicken sitting in a sweet sauce that tastes nothing like bourbon until today, because Ashley is going to show us how to put the bourbon back in bourbon chicken.
You bet. We came up with a recipe that we are super proud of and excited about. So I'm gonna start with the sauce.
Okay.
I have a half a cup of some soy sauce here, and you wanna use some good soy sauce for this recipe. And I'm also going to add some sugar. I've got a good amount of brown sugar here. It is a half a cup.
So the sauce is very teriyaki-like,
Yes.
with the sugar and the soy sauce.
Yep, and it's also got a ton of umami in there as well. So I've got a quarter cup of water. And now for the bourbon, 2 tablespoons of bourbon. Would you like to smell?
That's bourbon.
It is. Check. And I've got a little sesame oil. I've got 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and that's toasted sesame oil. And finally, a half a teaspoon of cracked black pepper. I'm gonna give it a little whisk here just to combine it. So I'm gonna microwave this sauce mixture for about 2 minutes, and that's going to help dissolve the brown sugar before it hits the skillet, because otherwise it would have a tendency to burn.
Makes sense.
It's amazing how much I can smell the bourbon, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And the pepper. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside just for a second because I wanna prepare our chicken. So I have 2 pounds here of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And before I do anything else, I just wanna go through and trim off any of that visible fat that we see there. I'm also gonna trim them into 1-inch pieces. Chicken thighs hold up so nicely. You know, you could really cook them a very long time and they would still be tender and just so full of all that delicious chicken flavor.
Yeah, they're almost impossible to overcook.
I'm gonna finish trimming the chicken thighs and cutting them into 1-inch pieces. And then I'm gonna wash my hands and clean up, and it's gonna be time to cook. Before I do anything else right now, I'm gonna preheat some oil in this 12-inch nonstick skillet. So this is 2 tablespoons of just basic vegetable oil.
Yep.
So let's move on down here because we're about to do a technique called velveting. It's one of my favorite techniques. And as you can see, I'm putting 2 tablespoons of that soy sauce mixture directly into the bowl with the chicken. And then I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So now I'm just gonna mix it really well just until the chicken is fully coated. So what velveting does is it helps to do 2 things at once. It's going to help to make sure that the chicken stays tender while cooking, and then it's also gonna slightly thicken the sauce. So it's a lot of bang for our buck. And there's no need to pre-mix the cornstarch with the soy sauce mixture.
I've seen a lot of recipes that do that.
Exactly. And we found actually when developing this recipe that it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it almost like creates a barrier on the outside of the chicken.
It's pretty hard to overcook chicken, especially chicken thighs, when you use the velveting technique. So I have some vegetable oil. I've got 2 tablespoons that's been heating over medium-high heat. And you can see we have a good shimmer going. So I'm gonna add the chicken to the skillet and cook for about 10 minutes until the chicken is well browned and cooked through.
Okay, and all at once.
All at once. The skillet will look a little full. And then I'm just gonna put it into just an even layer so everything has contact with that hot oil. All right, and again, we're gonna cook this for 10 minutes. 10 minutes has passed, and take a look at that beautiful chicken.
It's gorgeous. You know, it's a crowded pan, and the old saying is, a crowded pan, you'll never get any browning, but not so here.
Yep. All right, now time to add a little bit more flavor into our dish. So I'm gonna add some freshly grated ginger. This is 1 teaspoon. And then I have 2 cloves of minced garlic. And you don't want this to cook for too long, just until fragrant, for about 30 seconds.
Well, I like how you cleared a little area of the pan and you added it to the clearing to give them a head start with the hot skillet before you stirred it into the chicken.
Yep.
That's a good technique.
I think I learned it from you probably many moons ago. All right, I don't know about you, but I can definitely smell those.
Smells delicious.
So now I'm gonna add the soy sauce mixture and I'm gonna bring it to a boil. So I'm gonna cook this for about 6 to 8 minutes, and what I'm gonna be looking for is the sauce to be really nice and syrupy. And also I'm gonna be able to drag a trail with my rubber spatula through the center, also known as
nappe.
Yes. So again, 6 to 8 minutes. Check this out.
Ah, nicely done.
Thank you very much. That was a long 6-ish minutes, but now it's gonna be time to eat.
It is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It definitely looks like restaurant-worthy food right here. So off the heat, I'm gonna stir in 1 final ingredient, 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar.
Oh, a little punch at the end.
Yeah, it's just a nice little acidic kick at the end.
I like it.
That's combined. Now, let's get eating.
Okay.
So I have some rice over here. I'll just put some on your plate if that's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, something to help soak up the sauce.
Exactly.
Full portion, please.
Oh, you got it.
That looks amazing.
Thank you. All right.
There's so much color on the chicken.
How about a little extra sauce?
Oh, yes, please. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
This smells good, too. All right. That's delicious. There's so much flavor. You know, you can taste the bourbon, but it's not overpowering.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.